How is it?
It's pretty small, as you can see. Let me get something else for scale. So this is chapstick right here. This is the lens right next to chapstick. Pretty small.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a pancake, a little bit bigger than that. 28 millimeter f2.8. There's weather sealing built in. Nikon does this really fascinating thing with weather sealing where, man, I was just twisting the lens to the other direction because every other camera system does it. I forgot it's Nikon. But anyway, does this thing where like there's this little lip over the edge there to prevent any sort of moisture or dust or anything like that getting in. Does a very good job. Not going to lie about that. My issues with this lens. Well, let me go through. Ergonomics are really simple, plain, no problems there. Ease of use, very simple. Autofocus on this thing with the Z5 is not the greatest. The Z5 recently had a firmware update, and actually we published it today when we were recording, or yesterday, I forgot what day, where the camera system will be easier to autofocus and acquire faces in really low lights. This lens seems to be the exception. I tried it with the 35-1.8. Thank you, the Lens Rentals, for loaning us that lens. And then I tried it with this 28mm f2.8. By the laws of physics, the 28mm shouldn't have had a problem trying to get focus on a face in low light, but it did. And that was really disappointing. So I tried it at a bar. I tried it outside. I tried it at another sort of bar. And it was kind of inconclusive. It was really annoying versus the 35-1.8. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, there's like a stop more of light going to the sensor with the 35-1.8. That shouldn't really be a problem with this lens. But it is a problem with this lens. So I'm not really a fan of the autofocus. The image quality, though, is really nice. I actually like the colors. Hillary, who moved away from Nikon to Fujifilm, doesn't really like Nikon colors. Generally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of Nikon colors either, especially with the Z9. With the Z5, different story. And with this lens, also different story. They're kind of warm. They're saturated. They kind of give like this really comfortable, homey feeling to them. And that's what I'm getting with this lens. So I haven't written my review of it up yet, but I think that, you know, if you're photographing landscapes or stuff that doesn't really move, or you're not really photographing a lot in low light, it's a fine lens to get. Otherwise, might annoy you a little bit.
Are there similar kind of focal lens built for that Nikon system that may be a better option for people?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. I don't think they have a 28mm f1.8 yet. If they do, I'm probably just forgetting because we review so many different lenses all the time. And they have a whole series of f1.8 lenses. They have like a 20, they have a 24, they have a 35, they have a 50, they have an 85. Yeah, so none that I can think of with autofocus, or at least autofocus that's fully sanctioned by Nikon, meaning the two actually have like a verified relationship to work together. I know Villatrox makes a couple lenses, but I think what they're doing is like reverse engineering the autofocus system or something like that. Samyang has done that, Rokinon has done that, other companies have done that when they can't necessarily work with the company. So yeah, man, I mean, personally speaking, I wouldn't get this lens. I like the 28mm focal length. The autofocus is just enough to annoy me, though.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame.
Yeah.
And you've been... Anything else on the Nikon 28 that we need to know about? I don't want to rush you on to another topic, but...
No, it takes really good photos once again. I mean, there aren't really any issues with distortion or anything like that. I shot a couple environmental portraits in bars of bartenders and all that kind of stuff. Did a good job. Didn't really have any problems with it at all. The image quality is great. It's just the autofocus, yeah, it can make you pull your hair out. That's why I have no hair right now, clearly.